How's it going, guys? Welcome back to 5280. And today, see the power washer's out. I got a couple of buckets. The Volvo centered in the driveway. I think we're gonna wash the car. All right, guys, so I have my rinse bucket and I also have my bucket full of suds there. I use the 2-bucket method just like everybody else and their mom. It's pretty standard. Honestly, if you guys haven't watched how to wash your car before, I'm probably the 8 millionth person to do it. But I enjoy doing this stuff. It's a lot of fun, and detailing your car is just even more fun. So I have stuff here for the foam cannon, and in my bucket I also use my pliers here. Now this stuff is pretty good. I've used it for years. I've been pretty happy with it, and it doesn't have a lot of waxes in there that kind of help protect the clear coat. Now if you guys are just gonna do a clear coat or a sealant or something after you're done washing it, you want to use probably like dish soap. You want to strip the car of all of the oils and all of the waxes and stuff that are on there, so you get a fresh start from there. Now if you're just adding on to it, like if you've done your sealer already and you want to do a wax after that, then you would probably just use normal soap like this and then just add another layer. You know, I do use a foam cannon every time I wash the car, and I use the foam cannon because it does a lot of different things for you, and then really the big thing it's going to do is it's going to protect the paint while you're washing it. So not a lot of people know that the more suds that's on the car, the less likely it's going to scratch the paint. It acts as a lubricant to get all that dirt and grime off. So if you're using a foam cannon, it just makes that job so much easier. Now, I do use chemical guys here. This is their Honeydew snow foam. This stuff smells amazing. On top of that, it does a really good job, and it's actually meant for the foam cannon. So it suds up more, it gives you more of that lubricant that you need to safely wash the car so you're not scratching your paint. The other key thing that I like to use is going to be the power washer. And this thing makes this job so much easier and so much faster, and it gets the job done a lot better. Now, if you don't have a power washer at home, there's tons of different ways to do it. I mean, honestly, I'd say the most important thing is using your 2-bucket method there, and making sure you have a bucket that you rinse and then another one full of soap, and you're using that in a proper method so you're not getting all of the stuff that you're washing off the car back onto it, scratching the paint. So we're going to start at the front of the car and show you just how dirty it is. I've actually recently started dailing this a little bit more, so it's no longer a garage princess. You can see the outside. You can see all of the bugs that just collected on the front bumper. Top of the windshield here. It's disgusting. The other thing is I got some smudges here, got a little bit of fine scratches, so hopefully we're going to take that out today as well with some of the other stuff that we're going to do. And there's a small scratch there. I think somebody bumped against it in the garage, which again, it's a very fine scratch. Should be able to get out. And it's just dirty all over, especially back here. So we got a lot of work ahead of ourselves, but we're gonna break into it, and hopefully all this stuff here will make it quick and do a good job of it. Got our sponge here. So basically before I wetted it, I rinsed it in there, got it all nice and wet, and then once I wringed it out, put it in my bucket here that has the suds, and you're ready to wipe down. So one thing I have learned, and you can go in any direction, but basically when you use your sponge, try to use maybe one small section of it per pass. And it will make more sense here in a second, but basically walk it down with the car. See, I used that one section, so I'm going to use another section and wipe it down again. And really what's that gonna do for you is it's gonna keep the contaminants that you're pulling off the car from scratching it. So you don't have any streaks or any swirls or anything, because that's how you get those streaks and those swirls, is because you're not being careful and you're dragging all those contaminants across the paint. So, once you're done with that, move your bucket here, rinse it, bring it out. Once you're done wringing it out, use your other bucket, put some suds back into it, and continue.
Just let me fall to my groove. Just let me fall to my groove. Just let me fall to my grave. Heart fails under pressure. Wonder if these bad days will last forever. So pessimistic from the past. All the good things end up in caskets. I'm never feeling okay. Good days are so hard to find. Just help me know all the pain. Away, I'm one step from dying. My angels keep it at bay. Can't blame the people for trying. Just let me fall to my grave. Just let me fall to my grave.
All right, we got her all clean. You see she's all shiny, reflecting the sky onto her. Now, I'm not done. Normally what I'll do, and then I'm gonna do it here in just a moment, is I'll actually hit it one more time. I'll hit the whole vehicle with the foam cannon, rinse it off, and get every nook and cranny, and just rinse it, get a real good rinse and a real good second wash on it. I like doing a deep wash and then doing a secondary one just in case there's anything that I may have missed. I don't even bother with the sponge. I just hose it with the foam cannon and then just spray her off and get everything. But I mean, just what a transformation already. You can just see reflection of everything on it. And I mean everything. And here's those fine scratches I was talking about. Now, those guys, like I said, should be able to get those out pretty easy with the polisher. And once we're done, we're gonna get into the garage and we're gonna prep it. And we'll take some of these scratches out.
Just let me fall to my grave. Heart fails under pressure. Wonder if these bad days will last forever.
All right, we're all done with the cleaning. So the last step is to dry rot. So if you get a, let's say maybe a medium pile microfiber towel like this, make sure it's clean, make sure you haven't dropped it on the floor or anything, and then get it damp. Damp is important, even though you're drying it. The reason why you want it damp is because if you have a dry one, you're going to collect dirt and you're just going to drag it. Or if you have it damp, it acts as another lubricant. On top of that, it also picks up the dirt that's left behind, any dust or anything that's settled in the time it's taking you to rinse it and grab your towel. So, pretty simple. Just throw it on the middle and just drag it towards you.
let me fall to my
Awesome. So we're all clean, dried, and we're pulled into the garage. So now the next steps that we're gonna do is start prepping it so we can take some of these scratches out, remove them, and then we're gonna put what we call as a sealant on the car. Most of these sealants are good for, they say a year. Honestly, they're really good for like maybe 6 months. I'm not doing a ceramic coat on the car. That will probably be something I'll do in the future, maybe in the near future actually. But for the time being, I want a sealant on there to help protect it since I am going to start driving the car a lot more due to unfortunate stuff with the Explorer, and that will be a vehicle update in the future. Now, where we are with this is we have some scratches right here in the fender. So this lighting is very poor, and these scratches are right over here. And they're not very easily to be seen. So I'm gonna get a flashlight and I'll show you. But the products that we're gonna use is the polisher. So this is gonna be a dual action polisher here. It's actually Torx. I actually saw this on Chemicals Guy's YouTube channel and I watched it and I actually fell in love with it. This thing is super cool to use. It has an on and off. So right here, so it stays on, and then you have an up and down for your speeds. The cool thing about it is when you turn it from the off to the on, it doesn't automatically start powering up. It sticks at 0 speed and then you increase as needed, just so you don't start throwing your product all over the place. And we got our foam pads here. We got basically something for heavy cutting, medium, and then polish. And then we have our clay bar here. So I'm gonna do basically a little bit of claying first. So we can prep the surface, pull any other contaminants out of the paint. Even though like right now it looks immaculate, but the thing is that there is stuff that's still embedded in the paint. So iron deposits and all of that, we're gonna get that out. And then we'll have a naked surface on the car to clean, or actually start to do the cut and polish. So we're gonna grab our clay bar, get this surface wet with basically some lubricant to help get that clay bar moving across the paint there to pick up everything. And then from there, we'll get our polisher and we'll start actually cutting the paint to pull some of those scratches out, and then we'll polish it. So guys, this is gonna be your clay bar here. And so the first thing you wanna do is just kind of knead it so you get a clean side. Once you get a clean side, basically flatten it out. Because essentially what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna go back and forth on the paint in one direction there, and that's gonna pull a bunch of contaminants out. Now, like I was saying, we need a lubricant, so I use the Quick Detail. This stuff actually works really good because it helps with a number of different things. The big thing I will say is you can use water, you can use a lot of different stuff. This just happens to be my choice. Water works just as good. Now it can leave streaks when you're done with it, so I mean, the hard thing with that is if you're leaving streaks, well then your car obviously it doesn't look clean anymore. The other thing is a clean microfiber. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with maybe by 2 foot by 1 foot section here. And take your clay bar, and you're just gonna go back and forth on it. And you're gonna work your way all the way across the section that you're in. And it's okay to go up and down as well if you change your directions. Basically, you're getting more into the contours of the part that you're working on.
With the ground beneath your feet, with a whisper in the tree.
All right, so I got it all played, just this one panel. And so if you get close enough, you can see in the light there that is really scratched up. So what we're gonna do next is we are gonna take our polisher with a little bit of a, I don't know, I want to say a stiffer pad and a cutting compound. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in a 2 by 1 foot section here. Basically from here to about here, from up to down. And we're going to see if we can cut some of those scratches out and make them a lot finer. And then what we're gonna do from there is we're gonna do a polish, or actually go to a rubbing compound. And then from the rubbing compound, we're gonna go to a polish. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use our quick detail again. Spray this on there a couple of times, and what that's going to do is help soften up the pad. It's also going to act as a lubricant. It's good to help dissipate heat, and heat's kind of one of those things that you battle. You want heat, but you also don't want too much of it because you don't want to burn through the paint, which is bad. So after that, take the product, shake it up. From there, like to put a couple little dabs on there, like so. Got a little much over here, so we'll help spread that paint out on the paint. And we're gonna go over the car. So basically what you do is kind of just dab it onto the paint, like so. I think I got that pad just a little too wet. And again, you want to work in a 2 foot by 1 foot section. Actually, you can do a 2 foot by 2 foot section, and that's actually what they recommend. From there, we're going to turn our machine on. So right now it's on. What you want to do is put on the paint. And you're going to want to work side to side. I apologize, I'm doing it one-handed. Very difficult. Like so. All right, once you got it spread around, what you want to do is you're going to go up from here, and you're going to go up to a higher speed, and you're going to put light to medium pressure on it, and you're just going to work your way around the paddle. You want to go up and down, and side to side, like so.
On this track, oh, we all have our burdens, yeah, but we just keep on fighting and we never look back. Here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what.
All right, let's wipe it off and let's see all that we've done. We haven't done too much work, which it might need a little bit more, but you wipe it down, and it does have a little bit more shine to it. We got our flashlight, and actually, before I even use the flashlight, I can't see just visually on my end here, but you look in there, and it took most of those heavy scratches out. There's some light ones in here, which the camera is barely picking up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another pass, and we're gonna keep working at it. All right, so we're done doing the heavy cutting on the car. So we got a little bit of a softer pad here. This is gonna be a mid-grade, is the best way to describe it. So it's not quite as firm as the other one. Now, the other thing we're gonna use is we're gonna use our 36 here. So this is gonna be our next one up. So this is gonna actually get some of those scratches that the other one put in out. So it's gonna make finer scratches, and it's basically what you're doing is you're softening up the scratches that are in the car with more scratches, and then you're pulling those scratches out with something that's gonna be more fine. And then from there, you go to this guy here, and this is gonna give you that mirror look. So, again, you're gonna spray your pad, and about 5 dots on it. Oh, this thing's actually getting kind of low. Oh wow, it's really low. So, 5, like so. And then you just do the same thing, you go over to the car. Amazing, guys. I mean, a little bit of work went a long ways. And you can see how good the paint is. I mean, there's some small imperfections, like there's one right there. Other than that, it is really good. So, from here, basically we'll throw a sealer on there and let that dry. It takes 24 hours for sealers to dry onto the car, and then we'll have that bead effect with the water, and the water will just run right off of it. So that's how you protect the car from rain, the sun, all that stuff there, and make it so much easier to wash the car as well. So from here, I'm gonna detail the other fender. I've got to do the same process, which you'll probably just see me doing a time lapse. That'll be quick for you guys.
Just let me fall to my groove. Just let me fall to my groove.
It's about a week later, and the car is all wrapped up, and I couldn't be any happier with it. So, as you remember what we did, we cleaned the car, took off some scratches off this fender and off that fender. Also took some scratches out of this root quarter, and if you remember, that scratch went right about here all the way to about over here. And it looks perfect. And you can see the bike in the reflection, and I couldn't be any happier with the way this turned out. The other thing I did do is I added a sealant, and I did that off camera. So this new finish stuff, honestly, you probably see it in your grandpa's garage, your dad's garage. That's where I remember it from. And the big thing with this stuff is it does say once a year, but more or less I use it once every 6 months. And the reason why I do that is if you're washing your car and you're doing all the jobs right, this is only going to last about 6 months. And the reason being is that every wash you do, the stuff gets weaker. So I reapply it in the beginning of summer, and I reapply it in the beginning of winter, just to protect the car. And it does protect it against the sun, dirt, and all that other stuff. Now, you see how much depth there is in the paint. Now, this isn't perfect, but it is really good. I will say, in the future, I will get it to as perfect as I can get this paint. And the other things that we are going to focus on next week is the interior. The interior is going to get in full detail. I'll do a video on that, show you some tricks and stuff that I've learned over the years, especially like cleaning the inside of the windshield. That's a nightmare. So I'll show you some stuff that I've learned on doing that. Now, I do have some more product coming in. I ordered it last night, and we're going to do a compare and contrast between my Volvo and the girlfriend's Volvo. And we're going to show you the difference between this stuff and the product that I ordered in, and show you what's going to be best for you. Now, the car is done for the time being on the outside. If that new product does turn out to be really good, we'll actually apply that to this car as well. Now that will be a different video. That will be down the road, and I don't know when, but I know in a couple of weeks, once I get that product in, you will see it being applied to the girlfriend's car. If I missed anything, guys, let me know. I want you to subscribe, like the video, tell your friends. Right now I got 6 subscribers. Let's move it to 7. Let's move it to 8. 10 would be an amazing number to hit there. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.